Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook at Power 365 FM.
Okay, good morning. How are you listeners out there? Thank you for joining us on this fresh episode of Newspaper Review, coming to you live from Power 365 Online Radio, your #1 online radio station in Southwest and in Nigeria. We are committed to informing you, keeping you informed, entertained, and engaged. My name is Olamide Adeniji, and I'm bringing you stories from the Nigerian Tribune. First, let me bring you the major headlines, which is the first is on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Article Wike set to rekindle rivalry at PDP and NEC. And it's saying it has a rider, ex-VP arrives for crunch meeting. And also on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune, impeachment panel overrules Edo deputy governor's objection, continues investigation as assembly closes case. And electricity consumers with 20 hours daily supply to pay more. Okay, that's on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. And this is saying APC leadership does not favor North Central. Lukman, 1 dead, 600 displaced in Osun rainstorm. And Transcorp Group increases revenue by 47.3%. Tinubu signs student loan amendment bill into law. Rivers Peace Pact, if my actions will be taken as weakness, I will surprise them, Fubara says. Okwama, Urobo rulers call for independent investigation, return of runaway indigents. Reps to quiz AJF over 78 billion naira. Excess salaries, wages paid to 106 NDAs. Transcorp Group increases revenue by 47.3%. And then we also we also uh we also have other stories in the newspaper which we'll bring to you in a short while. Please stay tuned while we take a short break.
On Facebook at Power365FM, Instagram at Power365_FM. Power365 Radio, your source for news and insights.
Remember, we're your source for news and insight, Power 365 Online Radio. So let me bring you this first story. Tinubu signs student loan amendment bill into law. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed the Student Loans Access to Higher Education Act Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2024 into law to proclaim its effective takeoff. Speaking after the ceremony at the Presidential Villa Abuja on Wednesday, he noted that education is a tool needed by Nigerians to fight poverty. You can read more of that story. It's on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Odumaki now mouthpiece of government. Falana, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Femi Falana, has described the current leadership of the National Association of Nigerian Students as a mouthpiece of government, saying the association has strayed from the motive for which it was established. Okay, read more of that boost from Femi Falana to Nance on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Edo Deputy Governor's impeachment panel continues investigation despite Shaibu's objection. The 7-man panel set up by the Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Daniel Okungbowa, to investigate the allegation of misconduct leveled against the Deputy Governor of the state, Comrade Philip Shaibu, on Wednesday began sitting despite Deputy Governor's objections to the continued proceedings by the panel. Okay, so there's been a forth and back between the Governor of Edo State and his deputy Shaibu, and at last the governor has set up a panel which is set to commence their investigation on the deputy governors, on the allegations leveled against the deputy governor. You may pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune to read more on that story. My stance on peace pact, not sign of weakness, Fubara says. River State Governor Sir Siminalayi Fubara on Wednesday declared that his compliance with the implementation of the Presidential Peace Pact regarding peaceful resolution of the state's political crisis should not be perceived as a sign of weakness. He said he had been inundated with comments in the media about the implementation of the peace initiative and had chosen to be silent out of maturity and wisdom. Fubara made this disclosure in Port Harcourt, River State capital, while receiving members of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOGE, from the 23 local government areas of River State on a solidarity rally at Government House Gate. You may read more of that story on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. And then this is saying Fubara Secondus blasts Wiki over expired politicians' claim. Former People's Democratic Party National Chairman Prince Uche Secondus has lambasted Minister of the Federal Capital Territory Nelson Wike for referring to River State politicians supporting Governor Siminalayi Fubara as expired. For supporting Fubara, the former River State governor had criticized Secondus, a former Minister of Transportation, Sekibo, Director General of the party's Presidential Campaign Council in Rivers State, Lee Meba, former Governor Celestine Omeya, and the former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Austin Okpara, as expired politicians. Okay, this is an interesting read. I would advise you to pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune and read what Wiki called these politicians. You know, Wiki is actually a troublesome politician. Everyone would admit that. He's a troublesome man. So, read more on this story. It's on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Atiku Wiki set to rekindle rivalry at PDP neck. The rivalry between former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, over the control of the People's Democratic Party looks set to be renewed at the forthcoming National Executive Committee. The meeting of the committee has been fixed for April 18, more than 1 year since the last session. Okay, read more on this story. It's on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. And so let me also bring you this one, which is on, okay, just a minute. All right, let me bring you this next one, which is on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. It says, Tinubu mourns late ex-NLC President Ali Seroma, reps to quiz AGF over 78 billion excess salaries, wages paid to 106 MDAs. Accountant General of the Federation is expected to appear before the House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts over the audit query on the 78.761 billion naira extra budgetary expenditures on salaries and wages paid in 2020 fiscal year. Okay, so read more on that story. It's on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. And there's this picture on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune where Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, and Evangelist Ebenezer Fabiyobe were together during the 82nd birthday ceremony of Ebenezer Obe, held at the Cross Gospel Mission Church, Iyano Baja, Agege, Lagos, on Wednesday. Happy birthday once again to Ebenezer Fabiyobe. And then let's bring this next one. APC sidelining North Central. That's coming from the immediate past National Vice Chairman Northwest of the All Progressives Congress, Saliu Muhammad Lukman, who said that the North Central Zone is being sidelined in the leadership positions of the party. Read more on that story. He also said Northwest shouldn't hold 3 key leadership positions, and he's from Northwest. Okay, all right, so you may read more of that story. It's on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. Electricity consumers to pay more as federal government raises tariff from 68 naira per kilowatt to 225 naira per kilowatt. Why? Hey, oh my God, it is well. Okay, so this is saying the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC) has approved a tariff increase for customers enjoying up to 20 hours supply, and this is coming barely 48 hours after the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority announced a new wholesale domestic base price of natural gas for the power sector at $2.42 per MMBTU. Okay, you may read more of that story. It's on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. And there's a saying, Nigerian ports cargo throughput dropped by 4.89% in Q1 2024. That's coming from customs. Okay, away from that, let's bring this. Edo Refinery has received 15,000 barrels of crude from Oza oil field this year. That's on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. NSE Ibadan UI to collaborate on development of engineering. That's on page 7, which says that the Nigerian Society of Engineers Ibadan branch and the University of Ibadan have agreed to collaborate on the development of engineering, particularly in the area of internship for students. Read more of that story on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. Kaduna flags off distribution of palliatives to 289,000 IDPs. Read more on that story on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. ASU raises alarm over alleged illegal recruitment at Federal University of Technology, MENA. Many injured as hoodlums attack Lagos task force operatives. Okay, so let's move away from there. NAFDAC's regulatory efforts should extend to ending open drug market. That's coming from a fellow of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria and the national chairman for the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria. And okay, let me see this. Let's go away from there. And okay, we have the Metro page, which will bring to you Metro News, which will bring to you later in the day. I'm trying to scan through the pages of the newspaper to see if we have any major story from Oyo State. I'm yet to see any, but hopefully I'll see later. And this is saying Unilag Lasso strengthen collaboration on 2024 FASU Games. The University of Lagos, Akoka, and the Lagos State University Ojo have strengthened collaboration to successfully co-host this year's All Africa Universities Games coming up in September. And it will interest you that the Vice Chancellor of University of Lagos is a woman, and the Vice Chancellor of Lagos State University as well is a woman. Wow, that's interesting. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos is Professor Folashade Ogunshola, and the Vice Chancellor of the Lagos State University is Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello. Okay, so we're looking forward to the 2024 FASU Games. Teachers neglect detrimental to education development. Ajiboye TRCN boss. You may read more of that story. It's on page 17 of the Nigerian Tribune. Okay, so, and this is saying that, okay, this is a story from Ade Oyo State. It's saying, we'll deal with collectors of illegal levies in public schools. Okay, so this is saying we'll deal with collectors of illegal levies in public schools. The Oyo State government has reaffirmed its stand on the ban on collection of illegal levies in public schools, with a warning that it will deal with anyone flouting the order. This is as a result of reports that some teachers compelled students or pupils to pay for the ongoing second-term unified promotion examination for public primary schools. The chairman of Oyo State Universal Basic Education Board, Dr. Nurini Adeniran, gave the warning in Ibadan while monitoring the examinations. He stated that the present administration in the state since inception had been responsible for printing and of question and answer sheets for its unified examination exercise. Okay, it's on page 18 of the Nigerian Tribune. Interesting. So this is the second time that this story will be used on the Nigerian Tribune. Thank you, Nigerian Tribune. And then this is saying UBEC trains teachers on instructional design, multimedia content development. And so I'll be leaving the studio just for my Yoruba colleague. My colleague will be reading the Yoruba version to come to your listening pleasure. And this is saying UNESCO advocates integration of cultural practices into Nigeria's academic curriculum. Okay, the Nigerian Tribune still has this. They're saying a mini-K, okay, freight forwarders encouraging importers to commit trade crimes. It's coming from a mini-K. That's on the maritime page of the Nigerian Tribune. Okay, there's so many stories on the Nigerian Tribune which you really need to pick a copy and read. Rivers government inaugurates task force on food safety. That's on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune. So I'll be calling it a day here. Okay, but there's another story here from Oyo State which says safer Oyo to give feeds other inputs to livestock farmers as third phase of distribution begins. The Oyo State government has begun the third phase of the distribution of agricultural inputs to farmers in the state with the distribution of 2 bags of 50 kg feeds and 2 bottles of disinfectant to 1,000 pig farmers. Pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune to read more on stories that has to do with Oyo State. We have so many stories on the Nigerian Tribune. Picking a copy of the newspaper will do you do good by doing that. Thank you for listening to Power 365 FM. We really appreciate you. Our newspaper review edition came to you live from our studios. Stay tuned for our Yoruba version in a short while. Thank you.
No controversy ní nọ́mbà yẹn. 365 FM. Power FM yóò ti wá máa ní. Power FM yóò ti wá máa ní. Ìròyìn tó kún fọ́fọ́ lágbàlá wa máa ní. Power FM yóò ti wá máa ní. Ètò tó gbámúṣé lágbàlá wa lẹ ó ti gbọ́. Power FM yóò ti wá máa ní. 365 FM tiwa máa ní. Power FM yóò tiwa máa ní. Èmi Ṣẹ́gun Fowórà lóní kẹ́ máa gbọ́. Power FM yóò tiwa máa ní. Mo ní ọ̀rẹ́ mi dákun màmá yìí. Màmá yìí. Kó wà lórí dá ìyẹn gangan. Màmá yìí. No controversy ní nọ́mbà yẹn. 365 FM. Power FM yóò tiwa máa ní. Power FM yóò tiwa máa ní. Ìròyìn tó kún fọ́fọ́ lágbàlá wa máa ní. Power FM yóò tiwa máa ní. Ètò tó gbámúṣé lágbàlá wa lẹ ó ti gbọ́.